Hello. I'm assuming I'm recording. Let me see if it's recording. Okay, let me see. God, this is something else. I've done this before, but it needs a learning curve. Okay. Okay, so happy Hanukkah to my Jewish friends. I'm Filipino. There's a lot of Filipinos in all over the place. Anyway, there's a lot of Jewish people in the Philippines, and there's a great history about it. Okay, so I don't want to talk about it right now, but anyway, happy Hanukkah. I know it's from December 2nd to the 10th, and so I hope you enjoy yourselves, whatever you do, because I'm not Jewish. Okay, so let me share with you my idea. Okay, right. Uh, Let me take this. If you well, obviously the stock market isn't healthy. So, I mean, what can you do? You put your money in there, and uh, you might be losing money. So I'm gonna show you a way to make money back. Okay. Now, it's about art. So let me show you my premise. Oops, really? Let me do it again. Oh, okay. Um, so look into art, but look into buying and reselling art. And art is unregulated. You can get something for $10 and then resell for 50, and then whoever gets your that art can resell it for 100. So everyone makes money. Now let me. This is what I call zubiri agenda, which is somewhere here. It's this book. See? Now we're making an assumption that as you read this book, you're probably too late already. Well, you got to be prompt and act on it. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you some numbers. Okay, see that? So basically, what I'm saying is, if you find an artist who makes an announcement, okay, a few announcements. Um, for example, well, this is important. The announcement of a rise in price as certain pieces are sold. See, so this is just an example. This is the higher example. Okay, now let me show you another example. So there's an example for much lower numbers. See that 10,000. So let's start at 10,000. Let's say you start at 1,000, right? Okay, so the good thing about this is you can find your artist and you don't have to get a mortgage. See? So you can start with $100 right there. Now, as you watch this, you can freeze frame and look at the numbers even more closely. So let's say your budget is $10, right? So look for an artist who's selling at $10, right? And then because art's not regulated, that artist can make an announcement of scarcity, like for example here, 3,000 pieces, right? So now because then the artist made an announcement, then you can base your decisions on that. Aside from the announcement of scarcity, uh, you can also that artist can also say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna increase my prices, and this is a schedule. So let's say the current price is $10, because once again, art's not regulated. it can keep doubling like in an exponential way. See, can you see that? Okay, so basically it can go from 10 to 20, 40, 80, 160, 320, 640, 1280. You know, so in 10 steps, it can go from $10, whatever you have, to 5,120. Now get your pen, paper, and calculator and do that. See. Now, let's say you have more money, right? So your budget's not $10. You know, it's probably $100. So you're still not mortgaging your place, right? See. See that? So that's how you can resell. You know, like you just wait for the next iteration of the price. If the artist is following this, then okay, let's see. Okay, see that. Anyway, let me show you the 100,000. Okay, where it goes to 100,000. Let me see if I can help you see it. See, okay, see that. So if you find an artist for $100,000, then it's possible that, you know, like by the time see, not everything needs to be followed, right? It's just a guideline. So let's say the artist makes an announcement, you know, after 100,000, he goes like, oh, you know what, I'll start charging for like at $1 million, you know. So that's a big jump, right? Which means whatever you got went from 100,000 to $1 million, right? And then you can resell to your friend for $500,000, and you know, everyone's happy. Now here's something else. Let's say the artist just suddenly makes a decision, you know, like he goes from 400,000, then after that, you know, like $51 million. Then everyone's, you know, with the understanding that everyone's art pieces uh, are the same, you know, the same scope or quality or size maybe, then that's your price, you know. So uh, I have another theory, you know. If you know somebody who's if you're making like $100,000, right, for a year, you probably have friends who are making the same amount, right? But you probably wouldn't know anyone who makes $1 million. See? Now whoever makes $1 million probably knows somebody who makes $10 million, right? Now if you're a big company who makes $1 billion, then you probably know other companies that make $1 billion too, you know. So basically I call that the grandma theory, the grandma relationship, you know, where you know, if you buy something for $100, you can sell it to your grandma for $200, you know. So, and she'll say yes, you know. And then you can get your art back somehow, you know. You get it back, you know, when she passes away. But it's the same thing with friends, you know. And like friends hang out with friends within the same income bracket. So if you get something for $10, you know, just resell it to your friend for 50, you know, and then your friend probably knows somebody who knows, you know, like who'd buy it for even more, something like that. Now, how do you support this, right? Because anyone can do this, you know, make an announcement and say, hey, you know what, I'm selling this, and this is my schedule for the price, and this is my scarcity. So we got to make it more difficult for everybody, you know. So here's the way to make it difficult or more challenging. Okay, write your memoirs, you know. Now this is my 5th book. Okay, and it's under business marketing, right? Now everything in here, they're about my life, you know. There are things that I've learned from galleries, from other people, from publishing. So write your memoirs. And self-publishing right now, it trended in 2006. Now I've been going to the conventions for book selling and publishing since 1996. Okay, so I know the process. You know, I've seen the machines. Okay, and it really just trended many years later in 2006, and it's been 12 years now. So what I'm saying is, we artists should write about ourselves. Write our memoirs, biographies, autobiographies. You can even use ghost writers or collaborate with people, so that way you'll have your books. So this is my I've actually written like and produced 8 books, but I'm actively saying I have 5 memoirs. Okay, so here's another one. Hocus Pocus lately, and it's a paranormal memoir. And then here's my memoir about having been a masseur. Okay, so it's a memoir of an artist as a masseur. See, now this one is a paranormal memoir, and I do have fun with my titles, because I'm like hiding in plain sight. That's what it is. So I kind of decided I want to write, but I don't want to promote myself yet until now. So okay, so here's Wonder. Memoir of an artist of relative importance, blah blah blah. Right? Okay, so you can freeze frame. Now here's my idea. See that? Again, can you read that? I actually this was released in 2014, and like what I said, like I've been writing, because, and I don't want to get known yet, way back. So I kind of figured out, like, okay, let me show you a few others. Where is my other one? It's right here. So I kind of wanted to. Okay, here's one. Dollman the Musical. Okay. So there's a memoir of an artist as a doll maker. See. So these things are possible for artists. We artists can write. It just needs to. You just need to get into the habit, and you need to edit yourself many times over. Okay, so there's Wonder. Okay, so there's my 5 books, right? So there's Zubiri Agenda, my latest one, which I released this year, which is about how to write memoirs and how to publish yourself. So look at that. It's professionally done because I did it. Now let me show you my draft. When I started designing the cover of the book, see, so it's improved, right? So here's the graph. Here's the graph for exponential pricing of art. See, and you support your art with your books. Now my art is complicated, so it's not. It doesn't have a. I don't have a book for my doll work yet. Like if you Google me, you'll find my dolls. Okay, but okay, see this. Okay, so this is my latest one, and then I have Dollman the Musical. See the marquee. I'm already, this is from 2012. I'm already hinting to people with money, especially the banks, to look into art and look into. See that? Okay, so there's Wonder, then Hocus Pocus lately, then One Hour Mentor. So there's a science to writing memoirs. Okay, and look, imagine this. Okay, you have my art, you have my books. See. It's all on it's on a shelf, and oh, here's another thing. Okay, when I was hanging out at the galleries, so this lady, very classy, very rich, she bought an art piece that I'd become familiar with, and so I approached her. I said, "Thanks." Well, not thanks. I said, "Congratulations." And I've been familiar with that art piece because I've been hanging out in this gallery for a while. And then I asked her, "Do you know anything about the artist?" And she said, "No." And this by that time I already had like I've written 1 book that I took out. I released. I finished a draft in 2006 for my first attempt, of writing a full-length book, a book-length book manuscript. So I published it and then took it out, you know, because I knew I wasn't ready. So I had the confidence of knowing that I can write books and write about myself. Okay, so I asked her, "Do you know anything about the writer, the artist?" And she said no. And I said, "Well, imagine if you're in a at a party. You have a party at your place or your office or your husband's office." Because she said the art either goes to the home or the office. And I asked, wouldn't it be nice, you know, if you have if you have a party that you can talk about the artist? And the way I was seeing it was like from my perspective, right? That anyone should be able to talk about artists like something in the magazine, you know, like they read something in the magazine about the artist and then they talk about him or her. And she said something really important. She said, and impactful. She said, "You know, I am married and I have a really jealous husband who makes the money. So I can't really like get to know the artist. You know, I just need to know and get to know the art. And therefore, you know, this if we artists come up with our books, our memoirs, we talk about ourselves, our art, and we don't have to be at the party. See? And anyone can read our our books and know about us. And books last 300 to 3,000 years. They're better than a CV, a curriculum vitae, or an invitation to an art show, which is just a postcard, or an article in a magazine. You know, because magazines, they last for a month and then it's over. So we're better off with our books. You know, so our books are like business cards, and they're shown. You know, they're in Amazon. They're on Amazon and bookstores. You know, the bookstores, when you self-publish a book, the store clerk will say, we can order the book for you and you can pick it up in less than a week, and they'll get the book ready. You know, so these are self-published books, and self-publishing has actually trended, and it started to trend, I'm telling you, in 2006. Again, I don't want to explain that to you now, but now so like I'm saying, my let me take this off. Ouch. Okay, let me show you somebody else. Okay, Andrea Kasper. So I was kind of like, hey, you know what? You know, because uh, earlier this year, I was kind of like, hey, I'm done with my fifth book about myself. You know, so Andrea goes like, hey, I have essays. You know, like, what about my essays? So I'm helping her, and we just released this. Okay, so this is a first one of the earlier versions of it. See, so already, you know, like you can see the quality. Okay. Now she's got images here, and I did make notes. See that, you know, things that needed to be changed. Let me see. Let me show you like that. See. Okay, so you can see the quality of the book. See. Anyway, it's kind of bright in this room. See. Okay. So it's well made, right? Now we made certain decisions like on the design, right? So this would be the latest. See that? So there's books are possible, you know, like if you have essays, just publish them, you know, and include your. So she has three sections here. The essays, she has essays on her art. She has examples of her art. Well, not examples, you know, but these are, you know, she's got a lot, you know. She's got a list of. She has probably like a. See that? Wait. Okay, now she has poems too. Okay, so she has essays, first part book, and then part two would be poems, right? Okay, and then she has guided meditations in the back as part three. Okay, so see, so now she has more stuff, and you know, like there's notes on her art and on her writing. You know, she's very detailed on it. But this is her first, you know, and now she can go work on her second. Okay, so I encourage you to get this. Okay. Now I've helped. Let me show you something else. Okay. Now here's twin brothers. So this would be the best, the latest iteration of the thing, right? So just showing you decisions, right? So this would be the earlier one, and you know, we had to make adjustments on the cover. Now this is a memoir of gay identical twins, Jim and Jerry. Now Jerry is my friend from Chicago, and Jim lives out of state somewhere else. But they're 74 years old, and they're able to like write this, you know. Of course, there's you know. So, okay, so see now, Jim is an artist too. See, so he's got artwork. See that in the book, and I helped them prepare the book and all that. And there they are in their younger age. See, so that's Jerry and that's Jim. Okay. Anyway, so these things happen. You know, you can here's something else. Another book that I've helped to get published. Now Bob lives in Cambodia, and so all we needed to do was go back and forth. Anyway, here's another one. Okay, okay, so Richard again. So now that's Silverio did this. Silverio's my co-author, and he's also an artist. Oh, sorry. He did this like, just to have fun with Richard. Okay, but this is him, Richard, and LAU, Richard Lau. So I photographed his works. There's 273 works. Okay? Now this is also on Amazon, self-published. So every page has his art piece. See. Okay, now it turns out he had 273, right? So I made a decision. So look at that. It's retails for $59.95, right? So because it's thick, I split it into two. I reshuffled the works and split it into two. And so now, okay, no, that's Silverio again. Silverio Perez, you know, he's my co-author on zubiri agenda. So that's Richard. See. And another work of his. So I split them into two. So he's got book one and book two. You know, book one has book two has 140 works. Okay, now that's okay. Now LAU. 140 works, and then there's 133 works here. See. And a total of 273 in the big book. See? So now, if you buy something from Richard, you'll have your work seen in two books. See? Okay, so that's basically it. You know, like look for an artist and you know, make sure that the artist produces his books, and you know, gives you a chart of how he or she plans to be collectible. And oops, so look at the price. Oh no, this one, see, like this is the earlier version, right? It doesn't have the price, so the later version has the price, which is what you're going to see in see that. Okay, that's, yeah, these prices right here. So I encourage you to get I encourage you to get this. Okay. Now here's my project right now. Okay, Tarot the Porcelain Dolls. Okay. Now I'm encouraging everyone to head over to my website and reserve. Well, submit your email addresses. So okay, so this is the design. Okay, so the book would be here, book of instructions, and then the cards would be here. And there's 78 cards in the tarot deck. Okay. Now here's what I plan to do. Do 78 dioramas, which is my art, and over a year, and kind of attract even more publicity. So let me show you. Where is that at? The timeline. I need the timeline. Okay, here. I see it. Let me move my face. Okay. See that? Okay, so I'm planning to do this. So I was planning to do this, right? Yeah. So this is the mock proposal. So you open it, and guess what? When you open it, the music from Dame and the Musical plays, right? Now, I've been noticed for Dame and the Musical, so it might go on stage, which is another way of marketing myself, right? So I'm doing my best to, you know, not only produce my my memoirs, and right now I'm claiming to be the contemporary artist with the most memoirs written. Okay. So I don't know if that counts for a good thing for you. You know, if you think I'm going to be collectible eventually, that's all up to you. But that's what I'm hinting at, and that's what I'm hoping everyone would realize, right? So okay, so I do another marketing project, obviously, which is the Tarot of the Porcelain Dolls. Now here's the thing, I do a pre-launch, right? So right now I'm on a pre-launch. Go over to my website, valentinozubiri.com, and make a reservation for this. Now, so there's going to be a pre-launch and then a Kickstarter of 30 days, and then that's the 365 days. See, right there. 365 days. I produce 78 works, and I'm gonna be live streaming every day, just like what I'm doing right now. And then after that, there's gonna be like maybe 2 or 3 months at the factory in China, and then they ship it back to me, and then I finally ship it out. Okay. Now here's the thing, the tarot deck has 78 cards, right? Let me see. I am planning to do this. Oops, wait. Okay, I'm planning to do this right here. I'll make 78 dioramas, okay? So each card will have its own art piece. And then the 79th, I plan to get, you know, like get blanks in advance. And then on this side, on the other side, okay, so that's the back side, right, of the card. I'll be painting individual works on here. Okay. And I'll put it out. It's gonna be part of the thing, and you can frame it and whatever, and everything is gonna be original. So over the 365 days that I'm making my dioramas, I'm also gonna get I'm also gonna be painting on the 79th card. Will that be collectible? It's up to you, you know. And but this is my idea, you know. This, so I'm really just I only plan to like make so much because obviously, you know, it's gonna be tiring. But it it might it might be the last chance that anyone might be able to get anything cheap from me, because I am only charging $75 for the tarot box, you know, together with the free book, with the free painting. Okay, so I'm gonna talk to you about that later, another time. Uh, but head over to my site, my website right now, valentinozubiri.com. It's uh, it's pretty much done, and you can make reservations. The database works now, and the forms work. So if you want to, you know, spend on the 70 porcelain dolls with the dioramas, that's gonna be a lot of money. Okay, but also I also have the tarot deck, which is for the lower budgets. It'll start at 74 and go. It's gonna go down to $40 if you spend like $3,000 for like 40 units, something like that. So okay, let me show you. Let me show you what I was hoping to propose initially. Okay, so you'll come to see my price ranges that I've been toying with. Okay, so let me take this out. Okay, so I was thinking initially that I would make 3,333 works. Okay, now see that. So the first 300 pieces would be at 100,000, right? And then 200, 400, 800, 1.6, 3.2. Now this is going to take a long time or a short time. All depends, you know. If you see snowballing effect happen to any artist, not just me, then you can reach the higher price points, and then I'm sure it's gonna plateau somewhere, and then, you know, like it'll slow down. You know, that's what I was thinking. But it's good to see the numbers. And guess what? You know, if you're a bank or um, okay, see that the last 333 the last 300 pieces, and then the last 300, the last 33 pieces. See, now compare that with the start. Now, um, which is 100,000, right? So just because it was announced, you know, so you're now conscious that the artist, like me, for example, is actively working to get that, to reach that goal, right? Whether it's reached or not, does it really matter? You know, because let's say you're a bank, you know, or you're a company, or you're a hedge fund, you have ways to represent your numbers. See? So you might say, hey, you know what? There's a potential revenue of $204 million per piece. So, and you may have like bought something from me, for example, for 100,000, right? Then so be it. You know, use the numbers in the best way you can. That's why I'm here, and that's why all the artists who would participate this way, you know, would be here. It's for you to keep your for you to be able to sustain your business. And now this is just something you do on the side, you know. Okay, let me show you. Why am I saying that this is just something for you on the side? Okay, so let me. Oh, well, let me show you the cards first. Yeah, how I plan to price the tarot cards. Okay, so I'm making the dioramas, right? Okay, so let me show you the next screen. There you go. So 78 dioramas of for the tarot, and I'm gonna be stretching once again. There's 365 days of me live streaming, showing you the progress, and you very well know that you're not gonna be the only person or company who's gonna be watching that. So hopefully I get enough interest. You can reserve it now if you want. Sight unseen, obviously. Um, Eventually, this is what I plan to do. Start at 500,000, and then reach this. Because the Fool is the number 0 card on a tarot deck, and it's the Fool. $1 billion for it. I don't know, but what I'm showing you is the plan. If you're able to afford, like, at this much, get, like, let's say $4 million, right? Let's say I was able to sell 21, and then the 22nd is at 4 million, right? Then there's plenty more to go, right? Even if it's plateaued, it gives me the opportunity to keep my works so I can tour them. I'd like to tour my work so I can show people, especially those who are into the tarot. I'd like to show them my works. So does it matter that I sell my works? No, not exactly, because I'm also selling the tarot decks. See, so the tarot decks are different. They're different priced. They're lower priced, and they also have original works. My paintings, they're gonna be in there. So I'm hoping that even though I'm doing I'm selling the actual dioramas. I would be happy just selling the tarot. Okay, so here's my tarot. I really just wanted to start at 75, and then it goes up to like 3,000 if you want to buy 75 tarot boxes. These right here. If you want to buy these, then you start at 75, and then goes up to 3,000 for 75, which boils down to $40. See, and you will have 75 original art pieces in there. And I really just need to, like, match the requirements for China. Production plus shipping plus me shipping all over the place. So if you can spare 3,000, then go for it. Spend 75, and then hopefully you'll have 75 original art pieces from me. And who knows how much they would be. Hopefully more than that. Okay. And once again, it's my schedule. I stretch everything out to, like, a full year of becoming visible. Okay, so here's my suggestion for you. Okay, now here's your company. Okay, let me move my face somewhere else. Okay, so let's say okay, so your triangulation, I read this in a book. I read this in the book. Actually, I've read everything I do is based on books. Okay, so I read somewhere where if you triangulate yourself, then you feel like you're more stable. So let's say you're a company and your current products, and you're losing money right now, right? Because this model isn't working. So add art. Okay, and let me show you how you can add art. I'll show you your triangulation. Okay, so you do this. See, you add art. Sell like sell somebody else's work and promote that person, and get art wholesale, like let's say a bank, approaches me and says, hey, you know what, Val, we'd like to get 1,500 of your works. We'll put them in the vault, and every once in a while they'll uh, release it for auction or for sale. Okay, so that's possible. That's possible for your company if you're a big enough company. And if you're a small company, then start with the tarot decks. For example, if you're a cafe or you're an auto shop, you can get some of my tarot decks, and then you can resell for much more. And okay, so that's triangulation right there, right? Okay, so we're assuming that um, you already have your database of contacts. See, okay, so let me enlarge that for you so you can see it better. Okay, so your triangulation, your company, you have current products, you already have a database of contacts, you have salespeople already, you have an office. So what do you need to do next? See, guess what? You can use the database and give people a call and resell art. And like if you're selling $75,000 Cadillacs, for example, uh, how many of them do you need? So to make 10 million bucks, right? You need 130. You need to sell 134 Cadillacs to make $10 million. Okay, now what's the cost of making a Cadillac, right? You already have your showroom. You just need to put in one single art piece for 10 million bucks. See? And it probably costs you like $100,000 for the art piece. See? And so everything else is profit. See? You already have your showroom on this one. I'm telling you, even if you're Sears, you can spare a room, and if you can spare a room for contacts and eyeglasses and pharmacy, then you can spare a room um, for art, and once again, all you need to sell is one piece, and then everyone else can get paid. Nobody has to be fired. Okay, see, so now that's your triangulation right there. Now let me show you mine. Okay, so that's me, Val, and so I was, once again, I told you I read this in a book. So uh, I have my visual art to sell, right? And so I was kind of like, hey, you know what? How can I be triangulated? And I kind of figured out, hey, you know what? I can do visual art and books about myself. What books about myself can I do? Okay, so two things: memoirs, biographies, essays, articles, manifestos, poems, all in book form, and then art books and art catalogs. Now, being that I kind of know that like my doll work, it's gonna it's gonna it's gonna be a while before I'm able to complete like so many art pieces for a book, right? So I kind of figured, hey, you know what? Let me do my memoirs. Being that like I need to prove to you that I can be trusted. See, so um, guess what? Now I do have an even better setup. So see, so now I have Dom and the musical, and then I also have the Tarot of the Porcelain Dolls. Okay, so these are things that they add up. See, and they support each other. And I do plan to write more about the dolls and more about other things. And the porcelain dolls, think about circulation. So with the production of the production of the tarot, whatever art you get is already is being shared all over the place. And not only that, obviously the tarot, the porcelain dolls, they're not just gonna be tarot, a deck of tarot cards. I produce my books, right? So I'll have my own art books related to that, aside from a catalog of the 78 works. And not only that, I will have, like, let's say I produced 2,000 art pieces that I included in the tarot decks. That's another catalog, and then that's another, that's another art book. So these things multiply, like rats. I'm telling you, like, if you're an artist, look into publishing your works. I want to show you something else. Okay, remember Richard, right? Let me show you this. Okay. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. See, the people, the artists I talk to, there's two types. Okay, they're either doers, or they're saying, "Oh, that's a nice idea, and I'll think about it," and then they'll keep thinking about it until the trend is over. See, so here's Richard's works. Don't bother with what Silverio did. Okay, now Richard's gone like, "Hey, you know what? I'm ready to write my memoirs." So I have these writings by Richard. Okay, so let me take this out. Let me take out the let me show you this. Okay, so Richard, okay, that's part 2, part 1. There's part 3. See, guess what Richard did? He's 74 years old. Okay, didn't want to type. Well, he's not the person who can type, right? He wrote everything by hand, right? See that? Now, if you freeze frame this, you'll see his mistakes. He can't spell, but he's got stories and they're funny. Okay, now I'm redoing the work, right? I'm editing, I'm typing everything in and editing, but that's the work of an artist. See, this entire notebook is an artist's work. Now he's got 3, and then he's got a few pages here in this envelope. So what I'm saying is, we can produce, I can scan this and then produce them as written by him. See, so that's a book in itself, and then the edited book would be another book. See, so from these notebooks will come out the unedited version, and then the edited version, which is 2 books. See? And so eventually Richard's gonna have at least 2 books from this project, and that's because we can do it. So we have the ability to do it. And so basically what I'm saying, telling everyone, produce your works, and then produce your art books and your memoirs, and these things happen. See, I'm almost gonna be, the show's almost over now. So here's one of my works. See? So this is what's gonna be. Okay, see that? Okay, wait, let's see. So that's my work, and that's what I plan to produce for the Tarot of the Porcelain Dolls. Now, the reason I like to produce the porcelain dolls, they're mixed media, but it's not like mixed media when you do a painting where you put everything on a canvas, right? This is mixed media, but every stage needs a degree of discipline. See, so this is my I'm dressed. Still doesn't have any costumes, but that's my. This is my art. See, and once again I chose making this because they need so much discipline and mastery of different art stages in making them. So I hope you can trust me. You can go on Google Images and you'll find more of my works. Now this is clay, and from the clay I make the molds, plaster molds, and then and then this would be it. This is the finalized porcelain. Now porcelain shrinks, see? So they shrink a lot, see? So that's how you get the details. And I'm gonna be showing you how how I make the faces. For example, I can make them in 3.5 minutes, but that's just the start of the process. See? So what else can I show you? I guess I'm done. So basically, to sum it all up, I'm presenting art as an option for you, for your company. Get into art and look into selling art. Buy wholesale from an artist. Look for an artist that you believe in, and that artist should do at least 4 things. Okay, announce their scarcity, announce a price schedule, announce that they're going to write their memoirs, and announce that they're going to be publishing their art books and art catalogs. You can help them. See, it doesn't have to be me. I'm the one who started it all, right? And I did mention my name on the. I purposely did that. I mentioned my. I mentioned my name, right? So basically, anyone who wants to do this should use the hashtag Zubiri agenda. And I was thinking, if I gave this a generic name, it might already be a trademark, and that's why I use Zubiri. No big deal, I mean, I'm letting everyone use it without paying me, just use the hashtag Zubiri agenda. And once again, like if you haven't made the decision, if you're an artist, you haven't made the decision to. If you haven't done any books yet, okay, you can make an announcement online and be found online. Okay, now I've done 5 books, so the way to one up the competition is to write 6 books. But you don't necessarily have to write them. You can ask to collaborate with other writers who know what they're doing. So you can come up with 6 books in 6 months. And no, I prefer to write my own works. Okay, so now so this is with Silverio Paris. He's another artist, and basically pretty much everyone I talk to, once again, they're gonna like, hey, you make sense, but it sounds like it's difficult to make. Of course it is. Why would like it's like saying, why would you order oysters in season? You want them out of season. There's the more, you get into more difficult stuff. See, now going back to looking at your the Dow Jones again. Okay, let's look at the Dow Jones right now. How is the Dow Jones? Oops, I moved it. Wait, let me move this. Okay, I guess it went back up. 558 right now, is it? Yeah, it's up to 558. Earlier it was like 600 plus, but this is it. If you invested in something that isn't working right now, then invest in something else. And what I'm saying is, the Zubiri agenda might trend. Okay, Now, in the book, I said, okay, so here's your solution. Look at the Valsibir agenda. This is going to be your solution. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm saying here is this might trend. Artists already have the need to write their memoirs and biographies and sets of essays like Andrea, or like catalogs and books and whatever else. It might trend. Okay. Now I'm saying is what I'm saying right now is I'm making myself available to you. Email me. I'm on Facebook as Belzebiri. Message me there. There's the Tarot of the Porcelain Dolls. Look for Tarot Porcelain Dolls, or look at my profile, and then look for Tarot of the Porcelain Dolls. You can message me from there too. You can message me on Belzebiri, valentinozubiri.com. That's my website, and my email address is belzebiri@gmail.com. You can email me too. Here's something else. Okay, you can actually read the entire introduction, all the way to chapter 1, which has the numbers. You can actually see that on Amazon. Let's go to Amazon, and then click the link that says "Look Inside," and you'll be able to read chapter 1 and the introduction. Now, I'm also saying I kind of told you that there's 4 steps, right? 4 things that the artist should be able to follow. You know, the write books, produce art books, announce your scarcity, announce your price schedule, present and future, so that these boxes can be checked. Okay, now there's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 conditions. One is use the hashtag, which is already what I've been telling you. Hashtag Belzebiri Agenda to be found, even if you've just made a decision to do this without even having written anything yet. Be out there, be early, be prompt. Use the hashtag to be found and say, hey, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm an artist, or I'm an investor. Let's all meet. You can meet within the city or within the country, or within the world, and look for your good artists and gang up on the artists, right? So the next condition would be to snowball the artist. See, so you snowball the demand for the artist by gang up on the same artist. See, now the number 7 is if you're ganging up on the artist and the art gets produced later, then you can trade the paperwork, the art commission. That's what you trade. And then number 8, you give commissions to people who know people. See? So let's say you know somebody and I don't, right? And you think that my art just might be collectible. Then get in touch with me at valzubiri.com, valentinozubiri.com, and then valzubiri@gmail.com. Okay. And then my Facebook, message me there. There's a 9th condition that I also discussed somewhere else in the book. Barter your art with somebody else's talent. Okay, so if you, for example, if you're a cafe, you can barter with your artists. So you produce a collaborative book with profiles and pictures from all different artists that you're presenting. Now, for that effort, get original works from them. See? So that way, they become you have a deeper, more money at stake. See, because as that person gets more and more marketable, then you have art pieces that you can sell yourself for full price. Okay? And then all these people who buy from you, they can return to you as the prices go up. Then they can resell their works. So money circulates, and you continue to have your vested interest in the artist. So it's not like what's happening now. When you do two months of a show, you show the artist, in your cafe, for example, for 2 months, and then it's over. There are no sales, and so the artist takes everything back. With this, the excuse is publishing, right? Publishing works and collaborating with the artist. So for that effort, you get to keep some art, and then you can continue to keep promoting the artist all the way to the higher prices. See? So that's a good thing about this. See? And that's a good thing about what I'm calling the Valsbury agenda. You're you're you don't need to mortgage your house. If you're investing in real estate, then mortgage is needed. But if your budget is $200, you can buy art and then publish the works. And if you're a big company like let's say you're Deutsche Bank, you just need to find your artist. Maybe it could be me, who knows, and and get into an agreement where everything is bought wholesale, or like in bulk, like 1,300 pieces. Picasso made 4,600 pieces in his lifetime. Okay, so when I say, for example, like I wanna, when any artist would say, I'll make 3,333 works, that's still less than Picasso. Okay, so once again, get in touch with me if you can, and I'd like to help you out. And okay, and once again, like here's my plan. Like I am going to be painting original works. I'm going to be including them in the Tarot porcelain dolls. The only way I would know when I should do my Kickstarter is after I get enough reservations and enough interest on my website. So head over to my website, valentinozubiri.com, and look for that form for making reservations on this. And then and then I really seriously plan to expose myself via live streaming for a year. Just so everyone gets to know me and gets to see my work evolve. And then and if you're interested in the 78 works, it would be good for you to let me know, because as I get more commitments, then I'd know how much precious metal and gemstones I can include in the art pieces. So I'd like for everyone to have, to be happy with whatever they're getting from me. And I would like for everyone to realize that this just might work. This might it might snowball all over the world. Like there are artists all over the world. See, so who knows who might make it big. But if you're a big company, look for your artist and then gang up on that artist. Okay, now here's something else. Piggybacking. Let's say you can only afford one art piece, right? So you don't have the budget for promoting the artist, right? What if that artist gets approached by a big bank or a big hedge fund, and they get so many works from that artist? It means that they also have a budget for promoting. And once you make an artist famous, you can't make him unfamous. See? There's no reverse. So you piggyback on the artists that other bigger companies would be interested in, and get whatever you can afford, and wait for the bigger companies to invest in their artists. So it's many ways. There's many ways to skin a cat, and I'm just saying, art hasn't been touched by people like you, maybe, for the most part. And I'm very sure you're not a gallery or an art representative. But then again, if you're a gallery, you can always say, hey, you know what, somebody's following the Valsbury agenda, which means that there's only going to be so many art pieces at this price, and then after that it's going to double in price. So that'll make people who walk into the galleries, demand for for the art pieces now. Instead of weight, the, the element of weighting gets reduced, see, or diminished, or taken out, by the announcement of future prices, which is going to be higher than what it is now. See. Okay, so I guess I'm done. I'll show you other things as I make my videos, and hopefully this gets you thinking, and hopefully you get in touch with me if you think I'm a good candidate for this idea. Then get in touch with me. I'd be happy to entertain you. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much. Oh, it's at my time.